I think we can all agree that children are naturally curious by default. Well, almost all. There are a few rotten apples. But hey, you can't please everyone. Anyway, most kids love asking questions and exploring the world around them. But this story takes childhood curiosity to another level. So without further ado, let's begin. Once upon a time in a seaside town where the houses were painted in bright colors, and the smell of salt and sea breeze filled the air, there lived a young boy named Gianfranco. Now, this was no ordinary child. No, sir. Gianfranco had an insatiable thirst for adventure. Every morning when the sun peeked over the horizon, casting its golden rays over the sparkling sea, Gianfranco would grab his trusty bucket, his faithful spade and his red cap, and head straight for the beach. For Gianfranco, the beach wasn't just a place to play. It was a whole universe waiting to be explored. He built magnificent sand castles, complete with moats and drawbridges, and decorated them with pebbles and shells. He dug deep holes in the sand, imagining they were treasure troves filled with untold riches. And of course, he collected an array of shells, each one a unique treasure to him. One sunny afternoon, as Gianfranco was combing the beach in search of new and exciting shells, his keen eyes spotted something unusual nestled among the pebbles. At first, he thought it was a rock, just another ordinary rock. But then he noticed it was moving ever so slightly. Curiosity piqued. He cautiously approached it. "What's that?" he whispered, his voice echoing the mystery of the object before him. As he got closer, he realized it was not a rock at all, but a small turtle, its tiny shell glistening in the sunlight, its head and limbs tucked safely inside. But it wasn't just any turtle. It was a baby sea turtle, lost and far from the safety of the ocean. The little creature's eyes, dark and filled with fear, stared back at him. It looked so small and helpless that Gianfranco's heart melted. "Oh, you poor thing," he murmured, reaching out a hand to stroke its shell. The little turtle didn't resist when Gianfranco picked it up. Instead, it seemed to lean into his touch, as if seeking comfort from the kind boy. But now came the tricky part. Gianfranco knew he couldn't simply keep the turtle with him. It needed to return to the sea. But how? Looking around, he noticed a trail of tiny footprints leading away from the sea and towards the rocks. Hope surged through him. Perhaps this could be a lead to the turtle's family. Was the turtle cradled securely in his hands? Gianfranco followed the footprints. The little turtle seemed to stir in his grasp, its tiny legs twitching as if eager to reach its destination. Gianfranco felt a sense of urgency. He had to make sure the turtle was reunited with its mother. As he walked, he called out, "Hello, little turtle. Don't worry. I'll find your mommy and daddy." His voice echoed across the beach, carrying his determination to reunite the lost creature with its parents. However, as he ventured deeper into the maze of rocks, the footprints vanished, leaving him with more questions than answers. Just when he started to lose hope, a flash of movement caught his eye. Peeking around a rock, he saw a sight that made his heart soar. A group of turtles were basking in the sun, their shells a patchwork quilt of brown, green, and gold against the gray rocks. Could this be the family he was searching for? With renewed energy, he quickened his pace, eager to end the little turtle's ordeal. But then a strange thing happened. As Gianfranco approached the turtles, expecting them to scamper away in panic, they remained still, unfazed by his presence. Even the little turtle in his hands didn't seem to react to the sight of its potential family. Puzzled, he stopped. What was going on? Why weren't the turtles showing any signs of recognition or alarm? Was he on the wrong track? Doubt crept into his mind. Had he made a mistake? He looked down at the little turtle in his hands, its tiny form trembling slightly. He couldn't bear the thought of causing distress to such a helpless creature. Gently, he stroked its shell, whispering reassurances. "Don't worry, little one. We'll figure this out." In that moment of uncertainty, he decided to retrace his steps, hoping to find another clue, another signpost on his journey to reuniting the turtle with its family. As he walked, he scanned the ground, searching for anything that could offer a hint. That's when he noticed it, a glint of metal in the distance. Squinting, he saw a pair of binoculars lying on the sand. Franco picked them up and brought them to his eyes. Through the lenses, everything seemed magnified and clearer. Suddenly, he saw it, a cluster of turtles huddled together on the far side of the beach, their heads poking out of their shells. Could these be the turtles he had seen earlier? To confirm his suspicions, he started walking towards them. As he moved, he continued to observe through the binoculars, eager to get a better look. And what he saw next took his breath away. Among the turtles, he recognized the little turtle he had found earlier. It was not lost. It was playing, not lost and alone, but engaged in a delightful game with its siblings. Realization dawned on Franco like a sunrise. This was not a rescue mission. It was a case of mistaken identity. The little turtle was not lost. It was merely exploring. Relief washed over him, so intense that he almost dropped the binoculars. A wide grin spread across his face. He wasn't just a hero. He had stumbled upon a heartwarming scene that tugged at his heartstrings. With a lightness in his step, he crossed the remaining distance, eager to witness this delightful display of nature up close. As the turtles noticed him, they retreated into their shells, except for the little turtle. It poked its head out, observing him curiously. Gianfrando knelt down, a smile still gracing his lips. Looking into the depths of its innocent eyes, he saw not fear, but inquisitiveness. He extended a finger and the little turtle, emboldened by its curiosity, approached him. Slowly, it climbed onto his finger, its tiny claws gripping it securely. Delighted by this gesture of trust, he gently stroked its shell. In that moment, he understood that this turtle, this curious little explorer, had chosen to befriend him. News of Gianfranco's encounter with the turtles spread like wildfire through the coastal town. People marveled at his kindness and his ability to connect with animals. His reputation as a young hero grew. But for Gianfranco, the real reward was a bond he had formed with the little turtle. Every day after that, he visited the beach, eager to spend time with his newfound friend. He would sit on the sand, watching the waves crash and the turtles play, knowing that somewhere among those tiny shells were the footprints of their friendship. And whenever the tide receded, he searched for the perfect shell, one that he could place beside the little turtle's footprints as a token of their special bond. Now, you might be wondering what happened to that turtle that wandered too far from the ocean. Well, my curious friend, that's a story for another day. If you're eager to hear more tales of adventure and friendship, don't forget to stay tuned for our next story. Until then, let your imagination run wild and remember, curiosity, when guided by kindness, can lead to beautiful friendships. And who knows, maybe even a little bit of magic. So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and above all, keep your hearts open to the wonders that await you. Goodbye for now.